Hello everybody, my name is Rainy Angel and welcome to my channel, Rainy Angel in Spirit. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how your thoughts and beliefs create your reality. So yeah, your thoughts and your beliefs create your reality, your own reality. You can't create anybody else's reality through your own thoughts. Only you can control your thoughts and your beliefs and your reality. Everything inside reflects your outer world. I know everybody has heard this before, but I really love to speak on this topic because it is very evident to me than ever before. Going through spiritual awakenings and realizing these things and actually seeing it and experiencing it firsthand and having more of a clear mind and noticing synchronicities. I love synchronicities, by the way. I think synchronicities are magical, even though it's just the true nature of reality. Like, all of these things are like the laws of the universe, and it's just natural, and that's the way it works, and you can't change it. And I think it's a beautiful thing, honestly. So we get into the first thing. These, by the way, are all things that I have personally experienced. All of these examples that I'm about to give you. Okay, so first thing, let's see. So, and it's so silly that, like, how easily your thoughts can create your reality, like negative and positive. So if you think that you are clumsy, then you are going to be clumsy for as long as you believe it. So for example, there's been times in the past where I have dropped something. Like, I'll be at work or something, like I'll pour a drink or I'll make a sandwich, and there's been times where I literally dropped the whole sandwich, you know, for whatever reason. It could be busy that day and I'm rushing, you know, I could be whatever the thing is, I trip over something and I just dropped the whole sandwich that I just made, toasted, cheese melted and everything, looking delicious, drops to the floor in front of the customer. And from that point on, I'll look at that and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so clumsy. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so clumsy. And then for literally the rest of the day, like, I'll be dwelling on that one thing and I'll be like, I'm so clumsy. I'm so clumsy. Why did that happen? I can't just can't let the situation go. And then throughout the rest of the day, I'm dropping more things and I'm constantly thinking I'm clumsy. And then it gets worse. I start running into things. I start just knocking things over. Like, it sounds so chaotic and silly because it is. And then once I realized I'm doing this to myself, I'm creating this belief that I am clumsy when I know I'm really not. And so I stopped doing that. And, you know, from time to time, you do just drop things on accident or whatever. You knock something over. But you don't need to hold on to that one thought and then think, oh my God, I'm such a klutz. Oh my God. And yeah, once I stopped doing that, once I started understanding that negative thought was creating my whole reality, that I'm clumsy, I'm not clumsy anymore. It's magical. Like, I'm very graceful, actually, to be honest with you. So if you believe what other people believe about you, and it's usually because you have an insecurity or just a weak sense of self, and then other people's thoughts about you create your own reality. See how you do that to yourself. So when I said earlier, your thoughts can't create someone else's reality, I guess they can in a way, but it's up to the person themselves to believe that. So in my case, I had a really weak sense of self growing up, due to a lot of things in my life and self-judgment. But once I realized this, I hold my own beliefs about myself now, and nobody can tell me otherwise. So basically, for example, growing up, I had such a unique sense of style, which everybody is unique in their own way, but I would wear things like, I would go to school and I remember my favorite outfit was black and white, witchy, striped looking leggings with red Converse and a pink and white polka dot skirt with like a band tee. And then I would wear my hair all crazy. And then I had like really long bangs. It was kind of like, if you guys know who the Gorillas are, it was kind of like that sort of style. Like, they're very like random colors and patterns. It was like that, because I used to love the Gorillas. But that was my style, and I loved it. But there was like times where people would say things about my style, like, why do you wear that all the time? You know, like, you wear that like almost every day or something. And in my head, I'm like, God, I love this outfit, but you know what? Maybe they're right. Or they'll say something like, oh my God, that's not cute. Or just, they'll just kind of look at my style like it's weird, you know, compared to, I was surrounded by a lot of people who were preppy and like had very organized sort of outfits, you know what I mean? And, you know, and then I started looking at other people's outfits like, oh my God, maybe I should dress more like them, and then I won't get weird comments, you know. And then I just started not liking my sense of style, even though I really love it, just because I was worried about what other people thought, and had this weak sense of self and not a strong, like, grounded soul, that I would think, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why is my style so weird? Why do I like this? Should I wear this now? Like, are people gonna say something when I wear this? Like, it's so ridiculous. This was when I was in middle school too. And now I realize I love to wear bows. I love bows. I have a whole collection of bows. And, you know, me and another girl at work were talking about this, how we have this obsession with bows. We just freaking love bows. Like, we have so many bows. And all different colors. And so I love bows, and I own bows, and I own the style. And because I own my style now, I get compliments from other people, like, oh my God, that's cute. Like, no. Not that that really matters, like getting approval from other people, but I'm just saying, see how the change in your own beliefs will attract different things. When people sense that you have a confident sense of self, they respect it more, you know. And then sometimes people just still have their own negative thought processes, and you just have to understand that that's not you. You don't have to believe what they believe in. You just believe what you believe in and what you want, because it's just so much more fulfilling and more peaceful and blissful. But yeah, this went for my style and other things, like my taste in music, my taste in just all sorts of things, beliefs, spirituality. Now that I own it and I love it and I'm confident in it, no one else's outside opinions bother me. Okay, so next thing, my handy dandy notebook. Okay, so if you believe that other people are out to get you, then they are. So if you are somebody who is afraid of confrontation, and this was me like a couple years ago, terrified of confrontation. Oh my God, so scary. You know, when people do things that you feel uncomfortable with, and they're in your space, they're invading your space, they're not respecting you, they're not saying excuse me, they're just, you know, reaching over you, and everyone's in a chaotic rush, you know. And you just let it happen, and you're only because you're scared of them getting mad. Like, I was scared of saying something like, oh my God, like, they're gonna get mad at me, and they don't like me, and they're not gonna respect me. This has, you know, a lot to do with having a weak sense of self, once again. And when I was scared of confrontation, I would kind of, I don't know if I'd say I avoided the person. Like, I knew I had to do it. I knew I had to confront the person, otherwise I'd be lying to myself. This is when I started to wake up to this. I was like, I really can't just be letting people run all over me anymore, because it's my life and I'm gonna do what I want. And when I started to finally, like, okay, I'll give you an example, perfect example. This is when I started. This was like the first step to overcoming confrontation and telling people how I felt when they were treating me badly. A girl said something to me, and she had a really bad tone, and I didn't like that. Like, a really disrespectful tone with me. And, you know, she's her own person. That's her experience. That's her reality. But I don't need to, if I don't like it, I don't need to deal with it. And I can speak my mind and tell that person I don't like it. So that's what it was. She asked me to do something, which it was something that needed to be done. You know, we all help each other out. We're a team. But the way she said it was not really asking, it was more of a demand. And so she said it, and there's just some fire that built up in me, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this until I tell her how I feel. And so I walked up to her and I was like, I said it very respectfully too, like, I realized not losing your patience and yelling really doesn't help the situation, and it continues. It is a continuation of negativity and fighting. So I just said, I don't mind helping you out because I know we're a team, but I would appreciate it if you didn't have a tone with me. And she was like, I didn't mean to have a tone and this and that. Like, she was kind of defensive, but also at the end, I could tell that she realized that, okay, maybe I shouldn't be so aggressive with people. And it was all peace. It wasn't anything like, yeah, that's right, listen to me. It wasn't like that at all. It was more of just, please respect me. Respect me. Just like I respect myself. And I will respect you. Okay? And then from that point on, there was no more, she wasn't telling me what to do in such a negative tone anymore, because she understood that I will say something and I will not listen to you if you tell me, if you demand things from me, you know. And you can, there's been times where people don't listen to me still, and I just walk away. I ignore them. I say, you know what, I'm not doing this. No. But anyways, with this case, she understood. And then from that point on, I had to confront other people as the next few years went on, more and more people with more difficult situations. And then now I'm at that point where it's like, I don't really get those people anymore that confront me, or not confront me, that demand things from me. Like, they're not even in my reality anymore, because I have a stronger sense of self and a strong, grounded soul that I won't tolerate it. So when the universe understands that you won't tolerate those things, negative things, it's not drawn to you, because you're creating it. If you're scared of something, that fear is going to be in your face all day until you resolve it and go through it. So yeah, these are very valuable lessons that I have learned over the years. So if you are at work, a lot of these things have to do with being at work, but it can apply to your everyday life, no matter what situation you're in. So if you are working around certain people, that maybe you feel they don't do their job efficiently, or they're always complaining or something like that, or they miss this one little thing that's not even really a big deal, and you keep thinking about it, and you keep creating this belief system around that person, like, gosh, they suck, like, they never get their job done, and they never clean up after themselves. It's going to be emphasized even worse in your life. So basically, there's been times where people at work won't clean up their mess, right? And I just tolerate it, and I'll be cleaning up after them. But how are they going to learn anything? How are they going to learn, whether they're aware of it or not? A lot of the times they're not aware of it, because it's usually so busy in the place where I work. And there's constant customer service and people talking, and everywhere you turn, I'm looking at somebody, a customer or a coworker, constant communication. And so what I decided to do, the magical, obvious thing, was, hey, can you please clean this up? Can you please clean up after your mess? You know, it makes the workplace less stressful, and it's just so much easier for everybody to clean up after themselves. Oh, okay, yeah, my bad, didn't mean to. Done. Now they clean up after themselves. Not a big deal. So, yeah, that's another thing. If you just keep thinking about the things that annoy you about other people, it's just going to be emphasized every day. And you're going to go into work and be like, oh my God, I have to work with this person. Oh my gosh. But if you just give people grace and speak your mind in a peaceful sort of way, sometimes you do have to be stern, though, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes some different personality traits, you have to be a little bit more stern with them. It's not really demanding, but it's stern. Like, hey, I've been cleaning up after your mess for quite some time. Can you please clean up, whatever. Hey, we can't do this, or it's dysfunctional in the workplace. Can you please do it this way? This is the rules that we have. I'm not a big fan of authority and rules, but as long as money is a thing and I need it to keep a roof over my head, I'm going to be working, you know. But ultimately, I have goals too. I want to work for myself. So another thing about work, this is specifically about work. So if you go into work with a nasty attitude, I'm sure you guys have experienced this, your day's gonna suck. As long as you have that state of mind of, oh God, everything's so annoying, like, oh my God, so much cleaning, so much, you know, organizing, and oh my God, this person, customer over here and a customer over there. It's just gonna be a worse day for you. And you're only doing it to yourself. You could see people around you that are not thinking that way, and they're, you know, you're wondering, like, how are they having such a pleasant day? Like, how are they tolerating this crap? You know what I mean? And it's because of their attitude. It's because of their state of mind, their beliefs, their thoughts. It's creating their reality. You see how that person over there is very positive, and they're talking to people in such a manner that is uplifting and happy. And meanwhile, I'm over here like, God, you know what I mean? I just want to go home. Trust me, like, not all of us enjoy our jobs. And if you don't enjoy your job, go find another job that you like. You know, you don't want to keep yourself in a situation you really don't like. The point I'm getting at is, once you change your thought process and just accept and let it go. Oh, I'm only here till like 8 o'clock, you know, just tolerate it. You know, I know I have all this stuff I want to do at home. I got videos I want to make. I got writing I want to do. I got music, I got cleaning, and my kids. It'll all be done with at 8 o'clock. Okay, then you can go home and do all those things. It's just, you really do have to leave your problems at the door, as much as it sucks. You know how many times I've gone to the bathroom at work and cried? You know how many times? A lot. And that's okay. I feel a lot better after I do that. And a lot of it, sometimes I'll just go in the bathroom and I'll just stand there and just breathe and clear my mind. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes, you know, and I'll be in there and I'm like, I don't even care what's going on out there, because all that matters is finding my peace so that I can go out there and do my job properly. and it always works. And now I find it that I don't really get upset as much anymore. It's way easier for me to let things go and just be like, you know, I'm not going to be here forever, you know. So oh, also another thing is, when you are in that negative state of mind and having all these negative, annoying thoughts, notice how, I've noticed this, the time goes by so slow. And, you know, I'll keep checking the clock. Is it time to go on lunch yet? And it's like every 5 minutes I'm checking the clock, like low key. I'm like, God, 4:55, you know, 5 o'clock. And so, yeah, so when you are in the more positive and uplifting, happy thoughts, your time goes by very fast. Like, where you're like, whoa, how did it go by so fast? Where did the time go? First of all, linear time doesn't really exist. I mean, it exists here on Earth, but when you have these spiritual understandings, you get closer and closer to the spiritual realm, and it's like time goes by so fast. It's because you're experiencing a different sense of time, which is completely different than linear time. And yeah, you'll notice how time goes by slower and faster for other people, depending on their state of mind, you know. So, next thing that I have learned, oh, here's another thing for me that I honestly have to have more experience in as well, but I'm getting so much better. It's like going on dates. If you believe going on dates is awkward, it's gonna be awkward. And it's actually not just going on dates, it's just hanging out with people. Like, if you have social anxiety, it's usually because you're constantly judging yourself. Like, oh my God, dude, let me tell you, it was so extreme how much I would like judge myself. Hold on, y'all, I need some water, hold on. Okay, for example, so silly, oh my God, thinking about these things. I would be like super nervous for, let me think. Like a guy, okay. Like if I'm going on a date with a guy or something and I'm like, oh my God, are they gonna hold the door for me? What's gonna happen? Is he like chivalrous or something? And I'll like overthink that specific situation. The door. Oh my gosh. It's so crazy, guys. Okay, so the door. Okay, he's opening the door. Do I walk in? Is he a chivalrous guy? Is he gonna look at me and be like, oh, you know, like, go on. And there's been times where it's like I feel awkward as heck with that, and just like chivalrous things. Like, I know a guy's supposed to do that, but then there's a part of me that's like, not all guys do that. It creates so much confusion in my mind. But now it's like, I'll be honest with you, I expect guys to hold the door for me, and they do, usually. Sometimes if they don't, I just walk through the door anyways, because I just believe in chivalry, and I think it's something important that men do those things for women. Not with every little thing. Like, I'm not somebody who's really like, hold the door in the car and, you know, and if you do believe that, that's totally fine too. That's your set of beliefs, respect. But personally, I don't think every little thing has to be chivalrous. But stuff like holding the door, you know, if I have a bunch of stuff I'm holding, help me hold the things. If you see I'm carrying something heavy, just carry it for me. You're the strong man. You're masculine. You're supposed to do those things. I'm the woman. I'm not as strong as you physically, generally. And I like men, and I love their help. I really do. But yeah, if you just constantly are thinking like awkward, like if you're sitting at the dinner table and you're just like with the guy sitting across from you, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what do we talk about? Oh my god, I keep smiling and giggling and being bashful, which I am a pretty giggly person, I'm not gonna lie. I'm working on that too, because sometimes I do feel a little insecure and giggly, but I don't know. Maybe it's not a bad thing. I'm a very humorous, playful person as well. That's just part of who I am. And I also know how to be serious face. So, yeah, if you just overthink the date or interaction with humans, and you're like, oh gosh, what do I say next? Oh my gosh, this, that, and it creates tension in an awkward situation when it really doesn't need to be. Just be yourself. Just let it flow. Let the conversation flow. Be flowy and stop judging yourself. You know, oh my god, I dropped something. I'm clumsy. No, you're not. You're not clumsy. You just dropped something because of whatever the situation was, and you don't need to create this belief that you're clumsy and that you don't know how to talk to people and that blah blah blah. Trust me, I have had so much experience with self-judgment that it is going to be a whole nother topic for another video. I have been making music and performing. I decided to take a break recently because I really found a love for writing and reading. Love it so much. And so before I would do a gig or go on a show, there's been times where I would overthink and I'd be like, oh my gosh, what if I stumble on stage? What if I forget my words or forget my lyrics? And anytime I do that and I'm constantly overthinking it, like right before I go on stage, I literally forget my words. There's been times where I have in the middle of, I would rap too. So it's like a lot of words you have to remember and different flows, fast, slow, whatever. And I'd be sitting there like, da 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 da. I'd be like, hold on, so you start it over. Like, start the beat over. I did that, I think, last time I performed. But I didn't really care as much. Everybody was still very respectful and applauding me. Just because I didn't really care that much in that moment. I was like, just whatever. Anyways, but there have been times I've beaten myself up over it, and I think I'm this horrible performer when it's not even true. You know, Frank Sinatra forgot his own lyrics back then. And, you know, because of how famous he was, his fans started singing them to him. I'm pretty sure that's how the story went. And it was just a beautiful thing. You know, and when you give yourself grace, other people will give you grace too. So now the alternative situation could have been, I'm going on stage, which this happens more than the negative things for me. I'm going on stage, I'm gonna have fun, I'm so excited, I prepared, I made sure I remembered all my lyrics, like let's just go. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna act crazy or whatever, do whatever the hell I wanna do. And have fun. And I do, and it's so fun, and it's like the best performances ever. And because when I write, I give myself a lot of tongue twisters. I don't really mean to, it's just the way that I write and I make my music. And comment below if you want to hear my music. I will link my channel or my music page. Actually, I'll just go ahead and link it if you guys want to hear it. I just released a mixtape a few months ago called Cyclonic Artistry. Okay, so that's all I got for now. I'm sure I can think of some more things and personal experiences that I can add in a second part to this video. I just have so many different experiences and things to share on my channel that I always tend to break them up into parts. But anyways, yeah, comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you experienced any of these things, feel free to share and talk amongst each other. And you know, you could tell me about your experiences, and I just really like to hear other people's insight about these things, because it helps me, and if I can help you guys in any way, it really adds to me spiritually, and it adds to each other. Like, this is about unity in the new earth. It's about unity, coming together, having understanding, compassion, and being genuine for each other. I'm still learning a lot about that. And yeah, you guys have a great day. Bye.